Everyone. Hi, Patty.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Vic.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
How are you, Patty?
I'm good.
Good. There's Shantae, who is muted. I know she's talking. Oh, there she is.
I'm trying to figure out this whole lighting situation. I was like, I got something on. Nettie, why don't you pick? We are so sorry, y'all. Let me just tell you, like, this Q&A is going to be probably a comedy act, so enjoy the show. We are just going to try to do this as organized as possible. But the great thing about us doing this Q&A is that you get to see a lot of our personality and probably our quirks that we're not trying to reveal to you today. Let me go ahead and dig right into the questions. Who wants to answer one of their questions first? Did Victor have anything to do with Kimberly's rape? Can you give me a little hint? Ha 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 ha. I like how you put a laugh on that at the end, whoever asked that question. It's funny. I cannot give you a little hint. And I cannot answer that question at all. So, good question, though. I can't give you anything on that question at all. So I'm so sorry. We can ask some of the other people here. What are your opinions as viewers? I mean, watching the show. So, not knowing too much. We're just getting into season 3. What do you think? What was your response to this question? Do you think Victor had anything to do with Kimberly's rape?
I would say yes. That's mine. I always said that it was. He just comes off like that kind of, I don't know, that kind of way from what I've seen from the episodes. Because like you said, I don't have all the episodes. I don't know what the next season is even going to bring. But I do feel like Victor did have something with Kimberly's rape. But I have a question on here that says, Michelle needs to kick Selena's ass. Did they ever get into it, like fight? I don't know. I haven't seen them fight. but I know what you're talking about. Because Selena in these episodes, she is a little messy. So I do understand where you're coming from with that. But as far as them ever fighting, I don't know if they've ever fought.
A couple of the questions I have are really asking for answers as to what's coming up, which we can't tell you. Okay. A lot of the reason is that a lot of us don't know because we don't have the entire script for season 3 yet.
Yeah.
It comes in pieces. And so to speculate would be wrong, of course. One of the questions I have is Victor going to be an issue with Hakeem and Kimberly's relationship? He seems to like her. Unfortunately, that's going to be one of those answers of you better tune in and watch because it's going to get dicey.
He does seem to like her, though.
Yeah. He does seem to like her, but, who knows where this may go.
Yeah, it's a good answer. You just don't know, do
you?
Yeah. I'm really intrigued by Selena's marriage. Will we be able to see more of that? So when I got this question, I wasn't really sure if they meant Selena's marriage to Keith, or if they're saying they're Team Juan and Selena, which I'm Team Juan and Selena. And will you be able to see more of that after season 2? I think I could say that there really isn't much left to show about the Juan Selena marriage thing. I think that the audience kind of already knows the highlights and then the low points that they had. So I don't think it's as important. I think there are way more important things to show in season 3. So that's what I will give the audience.
Is Michelle going to stay in prison? I'd like to see more flashbacks of her and Nathan. Based on what was shown on season 2, yes, she's going to stay in prison. I don't know for how long. And from the flashbacks, it does show that she has done the crime of killing Chris. So that's one of the great flashbacks I know of her and Nathan that were really good for that season.
My third question really can't be answered because it's kind of so it states I know that Derek is really messed up. Will he get Sophie back? I think you just need to tune into season 3, so keep an eye out for that, and it'll definitely explain it towards the beginning. So keep an eye out for that, please.
Will we be able to see more of Hakeem's life? Okay.
Hopefully
y'all
not.
are asking questions that I really cannot answer because he was in the car wreck, and so I would assume if he lives, yes. If he don't, no. I can't tell you nothing. I don't know who survived.
How about this? How about this? How about this? Who would you want to survive? Derek or Hakeem?
Okay, we all gonna answer that question. Okay.
That's a hard one.
I
choose Derek.
I have to give a disclaimer before I pick
Derek, of course.
I like Derek till season 2. The whole college incident with raping Michelle, no go. So if anybody, I would have to go with Hakeem. If it was between those two, I would prefer Hakeem to live. Everybody else, what's your vote? If you had a choice, who would you pick?
My brother, of course. I had to go with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of would like to see Derek only because I wanted to see what goes on with Sophia. Because that kind of left you hanging. Like, is he gonna get her? Is he gonna be able to get his act together to be able to get her back, or at least get
Derek too, for me,
some kind of custody for her? Because that was a big thing near the end. So I if I had to choose between the two, I think I'd like to see Derek stay and have his story continue for a while.
Okay. Next, who's Manny? Tina?
I definitely said Team Derek.
Alicia? Okay.
I would say Hakeem. I like him and Kim's love story. So if out of the two, I would, and just the way that he was in season 2, I think that I would prefer to see Hakeem over Derek.
All right, Tina, it's on you.
I'm definitely on Hakeem for sure because I want to see what's more of him compared to Derek. We have seen his flashbacks from college days to the present time. So definitely go with Hakeem more.
Wow, we have a 3-way tie, y'all. So I guess you have to watch the show to find out who won. Yep. But I will say this. I can say this. I promise you that you will know what you need to know in regards to some of these questions that y'all asking about at the end of episode 1. We're not playing around. It won't be all the way at the end of season 3. Some of these questions, boom, boom, right up front. So I can't tell you that. I don't, as myself as a viewer of series, I hate when they draw out something. Just let me know what happened. So I can't say that. So, you just got to wait till episode 1. If you can wait till episode 1, some of your questions will be answered.
I have one that says, I love Kimberly's therapist. The sessions between them two are authentic. I'd love to see more of Dr. Brown's story, her home life. Does she return? And will we see more of her? So I think I can answer this. Dr. Brown will return. You would have to just stay tuned to see how much of her life. I think it just kind of touches on it a little bit, but you have to stay tuned to see what parts it touches on.
We love the therapist too. She not only was a therapist on scene, but Offset, sometimes we need her to activate that,
It's true. Doc, come here.
I mean, we call it Dr. Brown for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You call us all character names.
I do. It's weird for me because I'm trying to call her by Alicia because I know that the viewers, she is, okay, Dr. Brown is a character. Alicia is her own person. So you see it on this Q&A, I'm tripping up. I'm calling Manny, then I'm calling him Juan. Jamal, I've been calling Jamal the whole time because that's just who I see him as. So
Sorry.
I tend to do that, and I am, if you ever do an interview with us or you see us doing something else, I guarantee you, if I'm part of it, you'll hear me calling them by the character's name. I don't typically call Manny Dark Juan ever, but I call him Juan quite a bit.
Why is that?
Because I'm scared of Dark Juan, and I don't want to be. I don't need Dark Juan haunting me. I got my own demons trying to kill me. Okay, don't need an extra one.
At least she's honest. Honesty, it's great.
I love it. Yeah, we got to be transparent.
Yeah.
Next question, talking about Dark Juan, is Dark Juan really Juan? And I think before I answer this question, I want to know what Patty thought when she went through the episode. Because I never asked you what you thought. Or when you went through season 2, I would like to know what you were thinking.
Oh, I believe that Dark Juan was Juan, yeah. I think that it gave a lot of depth to everybody's thought path, and it just really expanded how we could look at Juan, and then what was really like behind Juan, and I liked that whole concept.
Well, I will have to say, in order to answer this question, I think that Dark Juan is everybody. I had a conversation about this before. We all have a little bit of Dark Juan influencing us, I think. So there's a bit of Dark Juan in Juan, but if you pay really close attention to the very last episode of season 2, Dark Juan tells you exactly who he is. So get Amazon Prime and watch the ending.
Good answer.
Says, I'm curious about Victor. Is Kim going to work with him in the future? Well, interesting question. For me, I kind of think she might. I don't really have an answer for that, but I feel like it will. I feel like it will. Yes, definitely. Because I know that from that previous question that we received, if Victor will cause like a problem between Hakeem and Kim's relationship. So yeah, I definitely believe that they will work together in the next season.
I think that's if she survives the car wreck, y'all. Everybody, I mean, y'all just acting guaranteed like she just gonna survive the car wreck. I know she Kimberly and everything, but I'm just saying, if she survives,
that's the part I keep forgetting. I kind of in my mind, I kind of said it like, oh, okay, I forgot that she went through that car wreck. So interesting question. So that question kind of threw me off.
I'm just because you know what? It's funny to me. I don't know about everybody else's questions, but I'm looking through some of my questions and I'm like, there's certain people that they just have no, like, we know they live it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well.
They asked, was Derek and Kimberly gonna rekindle anything? I say just tune into season 3. It'll definitely explain it right there at the beginning, what happens with their with them and what happened further on. So definitely just like tune in to get that answer. That's all I can say about that.
I love the whole vibe of season 2. Does each season have a focal point? Can't wait for season 3. Yes, each season does have a focal point. I think it was evident season 2 was focused on like a traumatic experience, rape, PTSD, healing. And for me, season 1 focused on people hiding their issues and not coming together and being honest and authentic with their closest friends about the problems that were going on in their lives and how lies and secrets can kind of tear up a family. And I would have to say season 3, I know that they out there on the Facebook page that they run, they have a promo picture and it has like the titles of each episode already out there for you. And that one really focuses on, as we know, there was a car wreck. And I can't say this, not everybody survived, y'all. So if I hate the viewers who expect that nobody perished, I can say that, yeah, you know, not everybody survived the car wreck. I'm not going to tell you who didn't. And so the season 3 focal point is dealing with the steps of grief. And I hate to leave you all like that. I can already feel some of y'all saying, oh, you told us that. Now, who was it that died? And I can't tell you that. I'm sorry. But I just don't want you to have your hopes up. Like, there's a lot of shows that do car wrecks and everybody survives. This is not the show. And I come across as cold. I'm so sorry. But I really think that the focal point for season 3 is great. I think it leads up from season 1 to season 2 and to the focal point of season 3. And I think that it'll be a big topic that a lot of people can probably relate to. And the more that I think about it, unfortunately, because of what's going on in the world today, people are experiencing a lot of loss of loved ones. And so I do think that this particular season will reach and connect with a lot of people.
I have a question. It says, I'd love to see Hakeem's child. Is that going to happen next season? So what I would say to that is season 3 has a lot of surprises. I don't know if you will see Hakeem's child in this season or if it's going to be the next season. But I would say stay tuned because I don't even know I get to watch the episodes the same time as you guys do. So stay tuned and we will find out if they reveal Hakeem's child.
And cut us some slack, y'all. You know, there's certain stuff we just cannot answer. You know what I'm saying? Y'all try to get us satisfied. We can't answer everything.
And this is a very serious question, and so I got to take it. It's suicide is hard, yet often a needed topic to discuss. I loved how the show rolled it out in different situations. Will we hear more about Hope's story? That is, I think we can go ahead and say we may see a little more of Hope's story in here. It is a difficult situation, and I think that our writer, creator, really covered the topic in a, I don't want to say a delicate way because it wasn't, but in a way that was understandable by everyone, that we all could get from it the force of how a suicide can affect everyone, whether the person is successful or if they get saved. It was a really hard part of the show to do, but I do believe, and I always will believe, that we covered it well. And I hope that if anything, it helped some people that may have been having those kind of thoughts, and showed them there are other ways to take your direction, and that is never the answer.
I also have a more serious question as well. For my last question, it says that rape scene, the afterwards scenes were done so well. I already loved Kimberly, but now I'm all the way Team Kim. Will there be a season of happiness for her? And please don't kill Hakeem and Nathan. So I don't write the story, so I can't promise anything. But the rape scene was, I think, particularly strong for this type of show, but I think it was handled well and also necessary to show that. And I know that the production has tried to eliminate scenes where violence against women is like really demonstrated or shown, because in season one, it kind of alluded to the fact that Juan was being abusive to Selena, but the scenes weren't as graphic as I think that they could have been. But I do think that that rape scene was kind of necessary to have the audience members connect and really believe that um, Kim had gone through something traumatic like that, and I think that it's also an important part of the story, just like the suicide awareness is, and it shows how people deal with trauma differently. Everybody deals with trauma differently, and this is just one way that Kim deals with this trauma. And will there be a season of happiness for her? I think that when somebody is going through a traumatic situation or a difficult time in their life, whenever you turn to God, you will always find uh, a way to rejoice through God's healing. So if Kim can do that, I think she will find a season of happiness, if not lifelong happiness. I think that was a struggle that she's had, but hopefully in season three, she will have develop a closer relationship with God, and I hope that that helps heal her and give her happiness. And I will try not to kill Hakeem and Nathan, but again, it's not my decision. Sorry.
Why is Kimberly so mean to her mother?
Ooh.
That's
she is too. She really is.
She is a little stank with her mom. Yes, she do.
Yeah, she is.
honestly, I really don't have an answer. I would say that should be my question. Why is she so mean?
Okay, let's
seriously.
Okay, so everybody gives a thought. Let's start with Jamal. Why do you think, based off what you've seen, why she's so mean to her mom?
What I take from it as Jamal's character is Kimberly feels that her mom is always talking down upon her, but she believes that Kimberly could do so much, but she's holding herself back by all the negativity she's facing. Mm-hmm. So I just think that's what's going on there.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Brown?
I would say that maybe something happened in their relationship earlier on. Kim's mom seems a little self-righteous at times, so I can see how that kind of would affect her, especially if she's kind of back and forth with the Lord. And her mom is kind of like, God is gonna get you, kind of, at her. So, and she's probably not trying to hear all that. And I do think that there was something else probably happened in the relationship earlier on that created some kind of strife between them.
What about you, Manny?
For some reason, I think I remember Kimberly's mother. Maybe I made this up in my head, but choosing Derek's side over Kimberly's side when it comes to their relationship. Was that a thing, or did I just make that up? I think I might have made it up. But in my mind, I feel like Kimberly resents her mom because she thinks that she picks Derek over
her. What about you, Patty?
Well, I mean, if you go back to season one, it's kind of clear to me that Kimberly blames her mother for her father dying, and she's had this ever since she was a little kid.
Yep.
And because of that, they never had a real mother-daughter connection or relationship, because Kim always has it in the back of her head that it was her mother's fault. That if her mother hadn't pushed, he would still be there.
Yeah.
So, it does go back to season one. So because they never got off to a good start after her father died, they just kept going further and further apart. They never could get it. Kim respects that it's her mother, but at the same time, she doesn't respect her mother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really stood out to me was Nathan bisexual or was he gay? That's a topic I want. I'm not too sure. I really can't say on that. I think I'm not too sure on that answer. Because he was married, and then he made a mistake. He clearly said it was a mistake. So
yeah, he did. He clearly said that it was a mistake, and
so I think he's straight.
I don't think he even knows yet.
See, that's what I feel.
That isn't a question that we can really answer. That's something you have to watch to see how Nathan develops.
Right.
He very well may decide that he's gay. He may decide that he's bisexual. He may decide that he's not either. But nobody can make that choice for him. This is something he has to do. So we have to watch to see where he's comfortable.
With you, Patty, all the way. I think that we're just going to find out when he finds out, because I don't think Nathan even really knows. I think he may know, but then he doesn't know. But I think this is a storyline where we're actually going to be, when he figures out and says what it is, he puts it out there and he claims it or whatever it's going to be, that's when the viewers will know.
Yeah. It's nothing that has a right or wrong answer. It's just what he feels comfortable with.
Right.
And we have to let that develop.
Please tell me you didn't kill Hakeem. I don't feel like that's a question. I feel like
desperation.
That's another, okay, all y'all Team Hakeem fans, because I feel like we got a lot of Hakeem questions today. I cannot answer that for you. I thought I could be able to give you something, and I can't. So I don't know if Hakeem lives or not. But I will tell you this. I can't say nothing. So
no,
that's all
can't. That's an unanswerable question.
So I'm going to go into my last question, Nick, because I don't feel like that was a question. This question I can ask, I can actually answer. What drove the writer to focus on these hard topics in a show? It's refreshing. Most writers watch TV, we watch series, and so for me, I watch a lot of different shows, but back in the 90s, I felt like they put out so many great shows. And I feel like right now, not a lot. I would say about 80% of the shows that are put out in the US, I have come to find, my opinion, that they lack real substance, real storylines, things that are relatable to people. And so I tend to personally, I watch a lot of European shows. I like a lot of, UK, BBC. And I just was like, I want to show that I can relate to, that I can watch and I can laugh and I can cry and I can be like, oh my gosh, me and my girls can sit down and be like, that, da, 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 da. And so that was the premise. But when God took a hold of me and he took a hold of the story, it completely changed into, there's not really, if you think about it, a Christian-based series out there currently right now. And it's not one that's out there where, when you see certain Christian shows or stories, they have the same template. It doesn't really oftentimes go really deep into the life of a person who's a follower of Jesus Christ. And I feel like with this particular story and these topics, these are topics that I feel like sometimes the body of Christ, we don't want to talk about. We kind of, sweep it under the rug. And we need to have these discussions about, people who are still followers of Jesus Christ, to believe he's real, yet they're contemplating suicide. They have, alcohol problem, or they have a sexual, a problem, or they are sex addicts and whatever else. I know there's so much stuff that goes on in this particular series. When I sit back and think about all the different topics, I'm like, wow, it's a lot of stuff that we've touched on in just 2 seasons. And we only do it in 6 episodes, 6 hours. And so when I think about, what drove me, it really has to be, the stories from my friends, some from my own personal life, and then a lot of stories from the Bible that have been repeated over time, over generations that are still happening. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where the stories come from. And I'm so glad that you find them refreshing, because I enjoy writing them, and then I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy knowing that it has, somebody can watch it and come away and say, like Patty was saying earlier, it kind of motivates them maybe to not want to end your life. Maybe if you've had sexual trauma and you feel like you can't get beyond it, you can. And so I really do try as a director, when I'm working with the actors on this particular show, because we do talk about a lot of hard topics, to come across very authentic, because I know we have real viewers out there watching it who have probably most likely dealt with some of the issues that our topic talks about. And so we're going to continue to do that in season 3. We're going to touch on some topics in season 3. And I'm really excited about where season 3 is going for the TGP. So, and that is my last question. I did it, y'all.
I'm hoping the show returns. It touches on so many issues that other shows lightly play with. Could we get more episodes in a season? That is not a question for me. I don't write it, but we can ask the writer, Shantae, if we can get some more episodes in a season. The fans want it. I guess it would depend on the fans as well. If you guys show out and go onto Amazon Prime and just really get those ratings up for the show, then we might be able to get some more episodes. But I'm going to ask Shantae.
What I would say is, God is always listening. Put a prayer on it. Honestly speaking, I don't think so. I think that if they were to be longer than 6 episodes, it would take away from the effectiveness of the stories. I think that the pacing is great. 6 episodes for an hour is fantastic. But I just can't fathom 22 episodes for one season of TGP. I just don't think I could push out that, because it does take up these stories. I wrote this script, this season 1 years ago before we even started working. So there's no way. But if you want more episodes pertaining to TGP, I promise you that you're going to enjoy the spinoffs. And so what I'm trying to do is give you more stories, but in a different season of each of these characters' lives. But more episodes, I don't know. God can do anything. So if that's something that you really want, you can pray about it and see what happens. But I feel like the 6 episodes, season 3 only has 6 episodes. So, and I can say this, season 4 only has 6 episodes. I'll tell you.
All right. And that was my last question.
Is that everybody's questions? Are we done? Is there any last thoughts we want to give them about season 3 before we get off?
Stay tuned and watch.
You're gonna like it.
It's a really intense season, I would say that.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot that goes on in this season, so definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, I really thought season 2 was like, it's intense. It's so much stuff going on in season 2.
Yeah, no, this top season 2.
3, I'm like, well, maybe not so much.
Yeah. So, if they thought they had a cliffhanger on season 2, stand by.
Oh wow. Yeah, season 3 is I hate to say this every time. Season 2 is still one of my favorites because I love the flashbacks. But season 3, oh wow. And I can say this for all y'all people who are scared of Doc Wan, but you liked his character. You thought he was something with the poker, y'all. Don't have your children watch certain things. So, but I think I'm super excited about hearing your thoughts about season 3. Really am. Had a great time with season 3. We are in pre-production for it right now. We're moving forward in the midst of COVID. So what I would ask our viewers to do for us, is to keep our entire production uplifted in prayer, because we definitely will need it. We're going to be busting our butts to get this show to you. And we hope that we'll be able to get it to you at the beginning of next year, Lord willing. And so I've enjoyed this Q&A with everybody. And until next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. It was so good seeing everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Love y'all. Bye.